Well, we're going to start this week's show a little bit of commentary and analysis. My guest is Mr. Matt Chipman. He's the editor-in-chief of the Green Baron Report. Matt, always good to see you.
Glad to be here again, Don.
You know, it's been a pretty eventful last 6 or 7 trading days. I mean, we've seen a lot of uncertainty, economic uncertainty, because of the fact that everything that's going on in Egypt, that's just a mess over there. But through all of that, the Dow scrambled its way back to 12,000.
Yeah, there's a lot of good improving indicators out there in the economy. Ben Bernanke was, thinking things are improving. They want to keep interest rates low and trigger the growth that we're seeing. You know, I was at some economic symposiums recently, and there is a lot of optimism out there about where we're headed. And I think the Dow is forecasting that when you see the improving numbers in the march of the market as it continues to go higher.
Well, we've always talked about this. Every time you and I have been on this program, we've always said that you take a look at the stock market. The stock market is an indicator of the future. It's usually 5, 6, maybe even 10 months ahead of where the economy is. The economy is going to recover when the job market recovers, and the job market's going to recover when consumer confidence recovers, and that's starting to show signs of recovery.
Well, we've had some incredible impediments to, companies don't want to hire still. They're afraid, they're unsure about what the healthcare situation is going to look like, what it's going to cost them. Corporate taxes, there's threats of increasing them in a lot of states. There's a big argument going on with the new House, Senate, and with the President, who's reevaluating the policies that he's placed out there and his agenda for how you tax. So there's really some analysis that's going down. We have got to cut spending. It's obvious, I think, across the board that we got to get these deficits under wraps.
Well, let's face it. I mean, the president is cramming for final exams because the election season basically starts with the State of the Union address in the year, previous to the election year, and that's, we're now firmly in the 2012 race right now. And, his poll numbers have not been looking good. He got whitewashed in the midterm elections, lost the House to the Republicans. And I think what happened this week, where the Senate had the opportunity to also go ahead and repeal the Health Care Act, but they did not do that exclusively on party lines, even after a federal judge in Florida said the whole thing was unconstitutional. I think that was a bad mistake on the part of the Democrats.
Yeah, the Republicans have kind of let that snake go, and they're going to keep that issue alive for a while. Yes. And we all know that something needs to be done with health care, and some massive changes need to take place. We just need to sort of. I personally like a balanced government. I like that both sides can now try to work together rather than it go one side or the other, because it doesn't seem to work. And I see more things get done when we do have a balanced government. I think there are obviously going to have to be some changes. You can't force everybody to take health care insurance, and that's just, that needs to be changed.
Well, every time you have government intervention, it almost always ends up being a jobs killer. And it's like you said, people are afraid to hire because they don't know how much money they're going to have to spend on this and how much money they're going to have to spend on this. I mean, business people are in business to try to make a profit and not to try to support the government. And usually the government forgets that.
Yeah, I agree. And whenever you stimulate the economy, where did you get that money? Well, it's got to come from somewhere.
Right.
It means you hurt someone else, or you took it from someone else to give it to someone else. I think we're now realizing that the stimuluses didn't stimulate anything.
No.
But what we do see now is we're coming out of probably very slowly. We should have come out of this a lot faster. We're slowly coming out of this dip. And what we're seeing is some specific companies that look like they're absolutely ready to take off.
Well, I agree with you, because there's been a lot of I will say, investor money sitting on the sidelines. And I mean, the numbers have been in the trillions, where people have just been waiting for signs of life. And we're seeing those signs of life now in the stock market. I mean, it's been nothing short of incredible what we've seen, say, in the last 6 or 7 months.
Well, there's a lot of scrutiny and additional regulations to even trade publicly now. The survivors and the ones that have come clean and the ones that are trading and have activity, I believe there are some out there that are going to be such big winners in the next year. I am more excited about doing what I do and looking at stocks the way we do it than I have been in since I started writing the newsletter.
Okay. Well, it's, we've been, of course, here with MoneyTV, we've been following small emerging companies now for 15 years, more than 700 episodes. We've probably featured over 3,500 companies during that period of time. And there have been certain periods during those 15 years that we've seen unbridled optimism. We're in one of those periods right now.
I believe we are. We selected a couple of companies at the end of the year last year that we thought would kind of have that January effect and rally. The results were extraordinary. We just put out our results for that month, and it was outrageous. We see another company that we think is going to do a similar action that we're going to release on Monday. We've covered in the past, but we have a full updated report that's going to be going out.
What's amazing, too, is some of the different stories and technologies that we're able to find out about when we're researching these companies. And, when you feature the companies in your newsletter, when we invite them here on the program to talk about their technologies, it's a real education in what the future is going to be. I mean, we really see unbridled optimism and future growth, obviously in the green technology sector. That seems to be what I refer to as the internet of the 21st century. It's really something to watch.
Well, it's humbling when a recession of this magnitude kicks you in the teeth, and I think what happened is that everybody decided to go back to work.
Right.
Really drill down on the numbers. How are we going to survive? How are we going to make this work? So some cuts had to happen,
right.
And the fat's been cut, and now companies will start to hire. You're seeing a trickle effect where the unemployment rate, I think, will drop some. I know we're hovering between 9.4 and 9.6%. I mean, we really need this number back down below 7.
Absolutely.
And I know the best way to do that, stop paying for everybody to be unemployed.
There you go.
But I guess we're not going to do that quite yet.
Matt, if people want to know more about the Green Baron Report, what can they do?
Just go to our website, click on any Join Now icon, go to thegreenbaron.com. We don't share your email with anybody. You'll start getting our reports, updates, and interviews, and I think you'll get an idea of what we do real quick, and the kind of winners and information that we provide I think is extremely valuable.
The Green Baron Report, Matt Chipman. Matt, it's always fun having you in the program. Thanks a lot.
Glad to be here, Don. Thanks for having me on.
Take care.